on. Is my okay? My audio's back. I am pissed. I am pissed. I am trying to get the chat to work normally, but YouTube. Okay, I think it's back. Thank you, Cookie, for the super chat. Oh my god. Thank you very much, girl. Okay, let me tell you what was going on. I opened the live stream and I was like supposed to be here already, like a few minutes ago, but YouTube was automatically translating everyone's comments to Portuguese. And I did not know how to turn that off. So I had to change my language in the YouTube settings to English. And now they're not translating anything any longer. Why do they do that automatically? This makes me crazy. Anyways, hello everybody. How's everyone doing? Okay, so today's live stream is going to be a little earlier because today is Brazil's debut in the World Cup. And I am not a football person at all. Like, I really am not. But if you are Brazilian, you know how big of the World Cup phenomenon, of how big the World Cup is here for us. It's a phenomenon. Like, everyone stops, like, everything closes, and we watch the games. And I was like, I'm not even going to watch the game. I'm going to be doing the live stream nonetheless. But I do want to enjoy this moment with my dad, who loves watching it, and he just loves, the games. And I think it's a cute moment to share with family. So yes, that's why we're starting earlier and we're finishing earlier because of the game as well. I don't even know who Brazil is going against. Hello, everybody. Let me see who's here. Hello, Lauti. Hello, Yusra. Hello, Jeannie. Hello, Ella. Hello, Milo. Hello, Karimar. Hello, Emil. Hello, Cookie. Hello, Anthony. Hello, Uta. Hello, Federico. Hello, Fufa Mimi. Hello, Stray Kids. Hello, Lisa Chan. Hello, Dominic. Hello, Omikyu. Hello, Brit. Thank you guys for being here today. An earlier stream than usual. So, how are you guys feeling after the news? Of Eclair this week. It's big news, right? It's big news. So I am very excited and I am very happy. Girl, I was very scared that Eclair would join in the first episode of July. I mean, after the episode titles from June, I was like, it's not gonna happen. But I was scared she would join in July, like in the first episode of July, because I will be in Sao Paulo. I will be in Anime Friends. So that's not going to happen. And I'm happy that it's not going to happen. Oh my god!
At Foofall Mimi donated £5 through Super Chat. Hope you have a fun time with your family today. Greater than I'm afraid I won't be here next Saturday, as it's con day for me, with the Miracle Light game.
Oh, it's that one that you're preparing. That's gorgeous. Thank you so much, Fufo Mimi. Thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you. Okay, con day is big day. I'm going to a con in the first weekend of July. Anime Friends. I love anime. I love going to Anime Friends. And so I just want to say, Fufa Mimi, thank you very much for the super chat, and I hope you have the best time ever in that con. Go spread the word about Precure. Go spread the word about Precure. And I'm very happy because it is very cold here in Brazil today. And this week has been very cold. I mean, not this week. Like yesterday, it started being very cold. And I love cold weather, and we barely have cold weather here. Usually it's in the middle of the year, like now. And my skin is very dry because of it. So let us have a little bit of a skincare moment. Fufa Mimi, if you want more characters on screen, like girl, you did a super big super chat last week, and if you want more characters, just let me know. Cookie, if you want another character based on your super chat today, let me know as well. Hello, Pinkberry. I am sorry I didn't see you in the chat. Sorry, baby. Hanamaru. I started watching The Star Detective. That's nice, Karimar. How are you feeling about it? I've been doing a little project of doing Spanish fan subs for all the trailers of Precure season so more Spanish speakers can get into the franchise. Lottie, that is an amazing job. That's an amazing job. I really like that. Congratulations. I think that it's very nice that people are like you and some fans are doing things to help spread the word and make it easier for people to watch Precure. It's really amazing. It's a big deal compared to any cure because unlike Passion or even Ace, they're building this up. Plus, Eclair knows things. Hello, Mila. I'm even more excited about Temputi now that they've confirmed Eclair's appearance is coming soon. The queen is coming. Are you excited? Girl, your queen is coming. Right? She's your queen. Hello, Marianne. How are you? Why don't we talk about Kurea as a person instead of her being the closest candidate for Cure Eclair? I think it's probably, I don't know, I think it's probably because there's not really much to talk about Kurea as a character as opposed to the others. I think maybe they kind of falls into the same, but I feel like out of the four of them, Kurea is the one that has the least in the show. I don't know. I don't know. How do you think? But I am very happy with the voting. I'm very happy with the project. Very happy with the project, and I just love that they're doing this. But yes, I think I mean you can Stray Kids, you should spread the word about Korea as Korea, Hoa Korea, Let's keep on pushing the word forward for Korea as a character as well. But I feel like out of the four of them, all four are the talk of the town in terms of, is there a possibility for that? My friend who doesn't have YouTube but watches with me has asked me to ask for Shirayuki Hime from Happiness, our innocent form. Girl, let's go. My queen, I love her. Cure Princess in Innocento. Innocento. Who doesn't love the innocent forms? I love them, but I don't like the makeup, but I love them nonetheless. Innocento. They should add happiness charge to Crunchyroll. Look at the queen. Look at her. She's so pretty. I'm thinking that Korea is Eclair. I've been asking this for a long time, but where's the Star Detective review? Oh, I have to do it. I am going to do it. I will do it. I promise. I'm sorry. I really forgot about it. I forgot about doing it, but I will do it. Thank you for reminding me. I always do it. If you don't know what he's talking about, I always do a playlist of my review, my impression videos for every Precure season, and I haven't done one for Star Detective. I totally forgot, but I will. I promise. I'm here and I finally finished my dog custom that took me since November. Good job, Aquatic. I'm feeling full, better, and clean. Simple and clean. Mimi, the object cure gal. Welcome. I'm happy that you're here for your first time. Welcome to the live streams. Over the past few months, I've been thinking about creating Precure content in Spanish, but my social anxiety is just too extreme. I think, I don't know, maybe I can give you an advice. I don't know. Whenever you create content on the internet, no matter who you are and what you do, there's going to be awful comments. I mean, but awful comments are usually an indicative that your content is getting somewhere. I mean, I don't want to say that it's attracting haters, not that. It's just that it's being seen by enough people that you are attracting viewers that are not going to like you as well. But among one or two that might not enjoy your content and might not like your voice, your face, or whoever you are, you're going to get tons of comments that are great, And I feel like usually in general, the Precure franchise, the Precure fandom can be really nice. Here on YouTube, at least, it's really nice. I'm saying this. I'm just gonna say as an example. This week, I released a video that has been my best performing video for months, which is the Cure Eclair video, the campaign from Cure Eclair. By the way, if you've seen that video, thank you very much for watching, because the numbers have been really, really high and surprisingly high. So thank you. And I received a comment of someone basically trashing me, saying, "Oh, you're gay, and the way you talk, you sound like a child." Blah, blah, blah. And I think unfortunately it comes with the territory. Those people are going to exist. Those people are going to have very bad opinions of me and of other content creators. And I'm going to receive those comments. And what can you do? You can simply delete the comment. Depending on what the person says, you can what's the word in English? Report them if there's something very offensive and everything. I did not bother with reporting, but those comments are going to happen. Those comments are going to happen. Whenever you are talking about news, it's one thing. Whenever you're talking about opinions, it's another. And for example, I was sharing news, and so the person did not really like me in general, didn't like the fact that I'm gay, didn't like the fact that I'm an effeminate man, and etc. and other things. But so you can receive those types of comments. And another thing that it can happen is that sometimes when you're sharing an opinion, people can disagree with your opinion, which is totally fine. For example, I remember when that A episode came out, I thought that certain parts of that episode were really weird, and the way they acted with Pochitan was also very weird. I didn't really think it was well done, and lots of people disagreed with me in the comments. That's totally fair, and I feel like those are things that you're gonna have to be able to look at and understand, that there are people that are gonna have different opinions than you, and they're gonna share it if you are sharing an opinion. So this can also happen if you create content online. Outside of the toy leak, hopefully her face doesn't get leaked holding the transformation item or something happening like they are in pre-transformation dress. That usually doesn't happen. I think it never, a transformation frame or still never leaked before. So I don't think it's going to happen this time. But what can happen is toy leak, as in her transformation and her weapon might appear beforehand in Toy Collectibles or something. But they don't share her civilian form, I think. So it's fine. We're going to see the box. We're going to see the toy. So we're not going to see who she is behind the mask. The mask. Girl, I'm sorry. I love what they're doing with Eclair this year. I hope they keep doing similar thing from now on. Yes, 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 yes. I like that. I think this they've been doing this because this is the detective season, so they want us to go over this and enjoy and interact with the mystery. But I do believe that this can influence other seasons. Maybe not the next one, because the next one is probably already being planned and lots of things are ready. So there might not be a mystery on who is going to be the mid-season, for example. It might be something obvious, like Put It and Marathon were last year, something like that. And maybe for future seasons, this might happen again. So let's see. Good princess. Maria, I did not necessarily have a party. I think I enjoyed it here with you all last week with the birthday. So thank you to everyone who was here. But after the stream, I went out with some friends. We went to a new place that opened here in my city. And it was a very delicious place. I love it. I loved it. Didn't make it happen as Charjosi named Cure Innocent. Nice. Happy Chess Superform is one of my favorites in the franchise. It is very nice. I love it too. Hello, Rosie. Especially because they sing. Imagine if in today's episode we'll see Niji's fairy form. Maybe. Kabaton is here. Hello, Halt. If I was in Japan, I would vote for Shiruku or Ide. I would definitely. I am going to vote for Shiruku. I don't know if the voting is going to be open for us, but if it is, I'm definitely voting for Shiruku. I saw the video, and even though Korea looks more like Eclair, I still want Elisa to become a cure since she was a silly character and she was fun to watch. Yes, I think Elisa is a lot of fun. I really like her character, and the interaction that she has with the girls is also very nice. Very, very nice. Thank you, Stray Kids. That's very sweet. Thank you. Oh, congratulations, Cookie! If you do Precure content, you may find Precure English dub person on your comments. Really? I had no idea. Hello, Kendra. I posted on the community tab that I was starting earlier, and I did set a timer here on the channel because usually what happens, usually my father, he goes out and he watches the game like with my sister and in my sister's house or anything. But today he's not doing that. So I was like, okay, no, I need to watch with him. So I have a theory, and it's possibly one of the two timelines. One where Mikuru, Ruruka, and Eclair did something that made the Phantom Thieves not be brought up in 2027 and the timeline we see now. I have never watched Cars before. Never watched Cars. I like that they're innovating with their mid-season lineup. Same. I think the most close leak to a transformation leak is the Felice leak on the Linko book. I did not remember that. Didn't know the stream was going to be early. Yes, today is going to start early and end early as well. The Makto Jewel shattered, Eclair missing, Ruruka working with the Phantom Thieves, the Panic of July 1999, more scare now. Pochitan was sent to who owned the pocket watch. Future Mikuru. Ooh. So Anna was just by chance, got the watch, and obviously Pochitan wanted to explain. Until they time slip. So many people, including who sent Pochitan, knows things. I would love for Shiruka to be Kira Claire since her voice actress plays one of my favorite characters from Love Live. That's very sweet. She is my pick. I love, but not. I don't have an attachment to her as in character, etc. But I do have an attachment to her voice actor. I don't, but to her character, definitely. I love her. She's so much fun. Girl, I need to record some videos today. And one of the videos that I need to record is a merch video. There are so many merch, there's so much nice merch coming out. Let me separate some of the stuff. Let me see if I can find them. There's a new Twinkle Can badge collection coming out, and I love it. And there's a new collection as well that is coming, and I think based on what they've been saying, it's gonna be for every season. So that's exciting, which I need to share. The bromides. What else? Now, have you ever compared a different character from another show from Star Detective Precure? I haven't. I recently got a Nico-sama plushie from a wonderful shop in Leeds where they sold anime stuff. They also had a Nuts plushie, a Big Cure Wing plushie. Oh, that's nice. That's amazing. Hello, yes. How do you think Eclair will react to Arcana Shadow after debut? Do you think she'll be disappointed? I have no idea because I don't know what happened between them. I really don't know what happened between them. And in terms of like, does Eclair know? Like, does Eclair know that she already exists? Does Eclair have a memory of being Eclair? You know, like things like that are making me very curious about it. So Girl, there's so much fairy merch from Star Detective. I feel like this is going to become a thing. Marion, Marion crepes are coming back. Last year we had You and Idol. And this year, obviously, Star Detective. But okay, so these are. Mm-hmm. I think that's it. I think Shiruko has the potential to be Eclair. Bye, Milo. Thank you. I want Star Detective Freaker Opening 2 to be something new. We got Maho. I wanted it to. I wanted it to. Who is Cure Eclair? I don't remember the order. Elisa, Shiruku, Kurea, and Rei. Those are the orders for the episodes. So that's going to be the poll for today. We're going to do this poll every week until we know who Eclair is. I'm hoping to see a return of Star Twinkle Precure. Girl, if Star Twinkle is in the movie, I'm going to be like screaming. I want to see them again. But I don't think they're going to go big in the movie, as in have like an older Precure season. I think they're just going to play it safe and have the two latest. But if I'm wrong, I'm going to be happy. Prove me wrong. Pretty Puppetto series. Pretty Puppet series. This is the name of the new series. Okay, so we're having lots of new collections from the Pretty Store. I'm gonna go for the Pretty Store first, and then yeah, these are the Pretty Store collections. Okay, these. Then Marion Karatetsu and Marion here. Okay. I think after Wonderful, mascot merch has become much bigger. Yes. I mean, I think fairies in Precure, they have always been very important in terms of merchandise. And I mean, not only in terms of merchandise, in terms of storytelling as well. They have always been very relevant. And I think sometimes we try to run away from that a little bit and not admit how big they are. But they're huge. Let me just see if there's nothing else that is coming that I haven't talked about that is like huge. No, I think I covered it all. Let's just see on Insta. There's the Chinese merch from You and Idol. The Chinese from Star Detective. The Chinese merch from Star Detective is really nice. I think I have it all. Okay. Girl, those crepes look delicious. When I was in Japan last year, I I was in Harajuku and I saw a Marion crepe store, but I did not eat one. There was no time. But they look really delicious, and I if the UN Idol collab was still happening, I would have gotten one, but at that time it was already over. I think it was in June last year that we had UN Idol, and unfortunately, I need to watch episode 13 again. I think they're what their boss said confirms my theory of Answer and Mystique are anomaly. They are. They are. The craziest part of Wonderful Mascot merch was when they realized those kitchen spoon of Komugi girl. Yes, yes. That I mean, they started doing everything. They started doing everything when it comes to merch. I want crepes too. Hello, Callie. Callie, I'm sorry for starting the stream earlier today. I know you're working right now. I am so sorry. Anyways, girl, I'm so sleepy today. Sorry again. Let's go. Now we are going to record a video talking about merchandise and new collabs. Let's go. I'm gonna start with this is not gonna be the first. I'm gonna start with this one. Let's go. Is your credit card? Oops. It wasn't recording. Now it is gonna be recording. Sorry. Is your credit card with you in your hand? If not, get it because we are going to see in this video what we're spending in the next few weeks inside the Precure universe. Hello everyone, it's Leo, and this is another Precure merch check type of video. We're checking out the new merchandise that is coming out. Also new collabs between Precure and other branches, other stores that are probably going to give us merchandise too. We are starting with new merchandise from the Pretty Store because there's lots of them. And we're going to start with this beautiful, very, very adorable puppet collection. And this looks like it is going to be a new line of merchandise from the Pretty Store. This is called Pretty Puppet Series, and it is bringing this time around Futariwa Precure Max Heart. And so we are having the three cures, Cure Black, Cure White, and Shiny Luminous as little puppets, and they're going to be basically very small because they're keychains. And also the fairies. Very nice. We unfortunately don't have Lulun in this collection. I wonder what the criteria is going to be for the fairies, because I do understand like they're getting the Cure Black Fairy, Cure White Fairy, and the Shiny Luminous Fairy. Mipuru, Mepuru, and Podron. But Lulun was also one of the main fairies of the season, and in most collections of Max Heart, whenever we are having a collection that has the mascots, not most, but in some collections she is present. This time around, she is not. I don't know what the criteria is going to be, but this is a new line of merchandise that is going to come out inside the Pretty Store. They're going to be releasing in the Pretty Store, and I think we can expect the future seasons of Precure to be in this collection. This would never be exclusive to Max Heart since it is a series. Every time we have series in the name of the line, it means it is going to be continued with other seasons. We don't know if they're going to follow the chronological releases of the seasons for the next few releases of this collection, or if they're going to mix it up. Because usually the Pretty Store collections, sometimes in some collections, they go by chronological order. In other collections, they mix it up. In other collections, they mix the seasons. Very hard to know. We right now are having two collections that are being released. One is this one, which is new, and the other one is the fashion series. The fashion series is releasing like with different teams coming together. And we also have the Select Colors collection that I believe is not over yet. I think there is there's a few cures missing. And so the select colors is also another line of merchandise from the Pretty Store that is still coming out, like those big lines that bring together every season. So we can expect more seasons and more fairies coming up for this. Another line that is coming back, and this time it's a new one, is the Twinkle Can Badge collection. This time we have the 15th collection of this line, which is called 15 Colorful. And we've already had 14 lines in this collection. I adore this. Those are badges, and I have some here, and they're very big, as you can see. Am I showing them correctly? They're very big. I have here Legendary Papaya and Milky Shock. Those are random. You get a little package, and you get any inside this big collection. Let us check what we're gonna have in this. I love checking those out. So first off, we have Nagisa. Snow is falling. Very nice. We did something special with Marin or Erika, actually. We have Yuri, role model. Girl, I love the hard catch style. It's so beautiful. Look at how Yuri is beautiful in this. I love it. And I love all the purple in it. And girl, we have Akko. Legendary Akko. Happy living. Very nice. What you looking at? Yoroshiku. This is kind of out there, isn't it? This is kind of out there for Dika, but yeah, I think it's funny looking and it's very, very nice. We have Follow Me for Megumi. If you wanna know what it takes. You know this song, Follow Me by Pablo Vittar? That just came to my mind, but I love this. Very nice. Twinkle Dream for Kirara. Ha! For Hachan. Girl, this is such a beautiful, beautiful design. I love it. The background and the big ice. Love it, love it, love it. We have Cheer for Love for Mayu. Girl, the biggest shipper in the world. I cannot deal. I cannot deal. Ping Pong for our queen, Pudding. Remember, she played ping pong in one of the episodes, in the school episode, because we have here Meron. And the inspiration for their images comes from the same episode, Dreamy School Days. She was the one who was rooting to enjoy a school day with her Netama. And that happened. We have Fly Into the Sky. Is that it? Fly Into the Sky with Cure Egret. Very beautiful. Bring It On with Cure Rouge. With that sword that they never used. Girl, they had such beautiful swords in Go-Go. And like, girl, why didn't they use the swords outside of the attack? We have White Horse Knight for Cure Aqua. This was from Yes Precure 5. I love this episode. It was a lot of fun. We also have I'll Stop It from Cure Peach. Mofu Mofu from Cure March. Girl, I need this in my life. I need this in my life. Girl, I love it. I love this hair. I love it. Giant Lance for Rosetta. Remember this in the final battle? Very iconic moment for Cure Rosetta in Doki Doki Precure. To make your wish come true. Oh my god. Cure Honey. Remember him? I loved this moment. This was everything. Spinning. I'm spinning around. Move out of my way. I know you feel it because you like it like this. From legendary Kylie Minogue, Spinning with Cure Parfait. And Cure Star has Drawing the Ideal Self. I love this phrase. It is very Cure Star. Very cute. I love Cure Star. And we have the debut of the new cures from Star Detective Precure in this lineup. This is the first time that they're appearing in this collection, if I'm not mistaken. We have Case Closed from Cure Answer. Very beautiful design. We also have Reasoning. Reasoning, yes. From Cure Mystique. Very on board with her personality, right? Because she likes to reason things when she's resolving the case. We also have Mystery and Secret for Cure Arcana Shadow. And in every collection, apart from the cures, we usually also get at least one or two badges from secondary characters. We have Tanaka, or Tanakan, with his pajamas. Morning routine. Girl, I love it. I love Tanaka. I am crazy about Tanaka. And we also have Jet Senpai. After all, I'm a genius. Very nice, right? This is going to be sold at the Pretty Stores, and you can buy them on the Toy Animation online store. And as I said, it is random. You pay 660 yen, and you get a random one out of those. You get a little badge, you open the badge, and you get a package. You open the package and you get a badge. Don't open the badge until you get it, and you can pin it anywhere you want. Here's Fontaine that I also got in this collection right here. Very nice. And if you want to buy them specifically, like, oh, I want this one specifically, you can go on Mercari after this is released, after a little while. You can go on Mercari and search for the specific one you want, and you can buy it directly. It's probably going to be a little bit more expensive than it is because it's a random item, right? But I think, like, if you collect an item specifically from one cure, you might want the badge from that specific cure. Looking at this collection, I really need the Madon badge because I love collecting everything related to Madon and to Cure Kiss. So I really want that. But honestly, this collection is pretty intense. I love it. Like, the designs are very, very nice. I really need the Mofu Mofu Cure March one. I love whenever they, give attention to her amazing hair. Remember, this was the first time that she transformed into Cure March. This is everything. I really love the Parfait one spinning. It's very beautifully designed. I love Cure Star as well. This Rika one, I'm not the biggest fan of Cure Diamond, but I love this. I love the Megumi one as well. I mean, in general, I think this is a very, very solid lineup of merch. This is really great. And continuing on, Pretty Store, we now have the bromides from Cure Arcana Shadow that are also getting released. We have 4 pictures from her transformation. This is a staple. Every cure gets one, and it wouldn't be different with her. Those are 4 pictures that come in a little package, in a transparent package that you can get. Another thing that is also getting a release in the Pretty Store is this. This is a new accessory collection from Futariwa Precure. And this is not Max Heart because it just says Precure, and by that we can understand why Podun isn't here, but Lulun isn't here because Podun is here. We have Maple, Podun, and Maple. Very cute. We have a necklace. We have earrings and a hair clip. And girl, look at this. So adorable. I love it. Very cute. This is also getting released at the Pretty Stores. We don't know if this is going to be a lineup that is going to, happen with other seasons as well. Other mascots are getting it because they don't say it's a series. So we don't really know. But now, still focusing on mascots in Pretty Store, we have Huafua Shippu Key Holder. Okay, so we have a lineup of merch from the mascots, from the fairies from Star Detective Precure. Pochitan, Mashutan, Jet Senpai, and Shushutan are getting merch. We have this keychain with this fluffy tail. Very nice. And I think they're respecting the tails, kind of. They are, like, Mashutan has a white tip, and she has a white tip here. Pochitan has a round tail, and it's round. Yeah, we can see the different color in the Shushutan tail as well. And Jet Senpai is just a regular yellow. Very nice. Very cute designs. We also have more. We have the card holders. One for each of the fairies. Very cute. This makes me believe we're not going to have new fairies in the show. I don't know. And look at the back. So nice. And we also have hair ties for them as well. We already have those hair ties for the Cures, if I'm not mistaken, in Star Detective, and now we're also getting them in the fairy format. Now, moving on and talking about new collabs, we are starting, oh girl, with Cure Eclair. Cure Eclair is special. Who are you voting for in the Eclair candidate campaign? I'm voting for Shiruku. I know, but I'm voting for Shiruku because Shiruku is my favorite. And I'm gonna go all for her. So this is a new collab that is happening between Marion Krebs together with Star Detective Precure. And the collab has just been announced, and still, this is just the visual. We also have the date. It is starting July 10, and it's going to happen until July 26. This is the visual of the collab. It is a very beautiful visual, and the image is so high quality that we can check the details on the Cures, and it's very, very nice. I really, really like this. But what matters here to us is in terms of like not being in Japan and not being able to enjoy the crepes. And I also, the menu is still coming out, and I believe that they're going to respect kind of like the colors of the Cures here. For example, it's probably going to be blueberry for Answer, and strawberry for Mystique, mint chocolate or mint chips for Eclair, and ice cream and banana. Are those bananas? Are those apples? For Arcana Shadow, and she like with a hint of chocolate to give out the black feeling for Arcana Shadow. Last year we had another collab with Marion Krebs together with Human Idol Precure, and this was a little bit of the merch we had. We did not have much merchandise. You could get the crepe that you wanted, and it would come in a package of the Cure that you asked for, because each Cure had her own crepe, and there were also cup holders here in the merch design and hair clips. Not many merch came out last year, and I don't know if this year is going to be the same thing, which is a little sad because those images for You and Idol, for example, are very adorable, and I would love to have acrylics from them. They would be very cute. This year, if they do not do acrylics, I'm going to be very sad for the collectors because those images of the Cures are very cute as well. And one different thing is that this time around, they're bringing their Cure formats to this publicity and not the regular forms of the girls and the civilian forms of the girls. Human Idol last year, the collab came out in June, if I'm not mistaken. This year, it's going to be in July. And thankfully, it is not the civilian forms, because if they release the civilian forms, we would have already been seeing Eclair here in her civilian form. So it's good they didn't. And last but not least, let us talk about another collaboration. This time with Karatetsu, which is a karaoke branch in Japan. And they are in this year, we are having a big celebration of 10 and 15 years. 10 years of Maho Girls Precure, Mahotsukai Precure, and 15 years of Sweet Precure. And those two seasons are getting special merch based on the anniversaries. And oops, sorry, it's very sad that we're not having a 20th anniversary collaboration for Splash Star, but still, what can we do? This is the collaboration, and those are the images. I adore those images. They look really, really nice. And I always say this whenever we have a collaboration that gives us a new visual, and this visual changes the hair of the character, I am all for it, because in the show, we barely see them changing it. And we see them changing it in collabs. And, you know, that's kind of enough for me that I'm like happy with it already. We do not have the full collaboration merch yet. We just have the visual. And this is the visual for this collab. I just want to go a little closer on the looks, starting with Sweet Precure. I really, really like this. Each girl in her own color. The gingham, or is it plaid? I never know. But very, very nice. And also the Maho Girls. Maho Girls, they're always getting new merch, be it in regular form like this or Mirai Days form. They are always getting new merch. If you are a Maho collector, I am so sorry for your wallet, because there is Way too much merch coming out every single time. And there's one nice thing here. We have the fairies, Hami and Mofurun, and they're giving them something special. Like they're giving them a little wings, and uh, Hami got a little ribbon here, and Mofurun just got the wings, I think. Just the wings. But the Mofurun wings are a little bit more apparent than Hami wings that they gave her here. But still, very adorable. Very, very adorable. This is going to be a collection that is still going to be unveiled, but they have already announced that it's going to have Sweet and Maho. Sweet is a season that is very unloved in terms of merchandise, so it's nice that this 15th celebration is giving them a lot of attention in terms of merchandise. And even if you don't buy merch, we're getting new visuals, and I am happy with new visuals as well. Anyways, this was the merch for today. Lots of new and great collections, and one new collection on the horizon, it seems, for the Precure franchise inside the Pretty Store with the plushies, the puppet series, as they are saying. But girl, this is my baby. I love them. I don't even collect badges, but I need to find a way to start exposing the badges that I have, because I think I might start a collection. I might get like 5 random ones and see which ones I get. Are you getting anything? Let me know in the comments. Yay! Let's do it. I mean, we did it. Girl, I love this collection. Hello, Trinity. Welcome. My Queen Arcana Shadow morning routine was great. Hello, Geocub. I need these hair ties. We're getting Eclair elections. I was trying to meet to know that Mira and Mofurun are technically around the same age. That's true. I've seen an Easter egg in Eclair page of official website that's using the developer tool. Someone found the hidden. Yes, Shushutan is there. Hami is still the best. Hami is. Hello, Koyama. I love Hibiki's hair. It's everything. It is everything. I started earlier for people who arrived now. I started earlier because I'm going to finish earlier. I am going to watch the Brazil game on the World Cup. As I was saying earlier on stream, it is a big thing for us Brazilians. It is a huge thing for us Brazilians. So I am going to enjoy this moment. There's also another video for me to record. And this other video is a big one, which is the interview from Murayama Isao from Animage, the series director. And it's a great interview, girl. So many nice things he said in this, and I want to share it with everyone.
At Ritsuo Senpei donated $5 through Super Chat. I went to see The Sheep Detective yesterday. By the way, can you add Detective Peach here?
The Sheep Detective? What is that? Ritsuo, thank you very much. Thank you. Detective Peach. Girl, that game. I need to finish that game. I was loving it, but it didn't finish. Oh, Hanamaru Kaiketsu. Nanatan. Thank you. Thank you very much for being a member for 14 months. That's amazing. Thank you. We're getting Detective E on this screen, baby. Ritsuo, thank you very much for the super chat. What is the Sheep Detective? Let me know. Look at her. She's investigating us. World Cup games are happening in my city, Atlanta, and the city ain't even finished all the crap they tried to get before the event. Girl, all I've been hearing about the event itself is a mess. Everything is a mess, and I feel so bad because I'm gonna say something that happened. I'm gonna share something. Whenever the World Cup happens, Brazil gets crazy, like really crazy. And we Brazilians, we love the World Cup era, and like it all becomes a big party and everything. And people who get to work on the World Cup, and like especially like reporters and everything, who get to go to the country that is hosting the event, they feel very proud of going. They feel very happy and everything. But we have, like, Brazil is a country that is heavily black, right? So we have lots of black people that work on TV, and one of them went to be a reporter in the World Cup. And she said that she suffered a lot of racism when she got into the US, and the way they treated her in the airport was really, really absurd. And we did not see that happening with other reporters that were not black. So, hello, Masked. I'm liking on the season a little. Haven't bothered to watch the past 2 episodes. A movie that it involves a sheep solving a murder case. That's cute. Sorry, Master. I mean, not cute that it's happening, but the murder happened. But it's cute that a detective is a sheep. What they're doing to the Iranian team should be illegal. I agree. They should just, like, the Iranian team, like the people, the Senegal people that are going, uh, and some of the Senegal people that were going to work on the games, referees and such, were denied entry in the country. Just move to another, like, girl, just move the games to Canada, like, because there are some games that are happening in Canada, right? I'm so excited when Croatia will play. Girl, same for Brazil. Like, I don't like football, but I get excited every time. Apparently, the Eclair campaign episode will be free catch up once for a limited time here on YouTube. It's obvious that it's going to get geo-locked. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I'd love to see Leo's reaction to Curie Claire's transformation. You're gonna see it. You're gonna see it. I wonder if you'll be as happy as when you watched Cure Butterfly's transformation. Probably not. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's going to be a super insane transformation. We never know, right? But I don't know. I think there's always the possibility of me enjoying something that I love, right? But at the same time, I think that I can think of it being something very magnificent. I think the transformations in this season are really beautiful, and I feel like Eclair's is going to be the best one.
At GeoCubATL donated $4.99 through
Thank
Super Chat.
you.
Hi gay. Rainbow, can you please add big one from JAKQ Dengeki Tai to the screen? Palestine, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Somalia, Brazil, Senegal.
Girl, I love the way she reads it. I love it. Let's see. Can you please add big one from I can. I love the name. Palestine, I don't know the others. Brazil, Senegal. I am very bad with flags. Thank you so much, GeoCub. Let's add big one. Who is big one? What is JAKH? Dengekitai. It's a rainbow. Girl, this is so corny. I love it. Geocup always comes up with the most out of the blue ones, and I love it every time. Girl. Okay. Big one. Look at that. Love it. Jacker Dengeki Tai. Okay. Bosnia. It's going to be hard to beat Arcana Shadows transformation. That is 50-second sequence. Yeah, I, and you know, we are still going to have another one, right? We're still going to have another transformation from Duduka. So, like, lots of great things still coming, still to come. So, I love it. We did not talk about how Answer and Mystique's transformation being the longest dual transformation, right? I can see the blue and green black background already. Me too. I can see it in Eclair's transformation. I think like I love Eclair's color. And I wonder, like, one of the things that I loved about Hirogato Sky's transformation is how dark the background was. That added, and Human Idol also brought it. I love when they do it. You know, I think this season, we don't know. Like Arcana Shadow, like they gave her something that looks like a location for her transformation. And I eat it up every time. I eat it up every time. I love it. I find the dual transformation of the season a little too long. It is very long. Very long. Love the OST. I like the OST too, but I think the OST, I feel like it, I'm not crazy about the OST because it is a type of music that is very like, detective, mystery show, detective show. It's very like that. And it's not just the style I love, but I think it's very, very on brand for Star Detective. It is really an incredible job. And one interesting thing, this time around, we have the same people that did UN Idol are doing Star Detective. For UN Idol, for the first time, we had two people doing the music because we had more music than usual. And this time, we don't have more music than usual, but we're still having two people working. Umase Misaki and Fukusawa Erika. But what is happening is that if you look at the OST, most like 90 something percent. I haven't done the math. I'm just exaggerating, but most of the music is done by Umase Misaki herself. Fukusawa Erika is doing very few of the music. And I like it. I think that it's like she's passing down the torch to Umase Misaki. Maybe the next season is only going to be Umase, you know? We don't know how this works, but because in the past it used to be like one season, one person for the music who worked on 3 different seasons, and then they changed, and then that would repeat itself for a while. Okay, let me get the images for the video. One image for the Phantom Thieves gang, which are mentioned very early on in the interview. Another one is this, and then time slip. I need an image of Anna time slipping. Mirai Days. They mentioned Mirai Days. This is something that I have been thinking about as well. Hello, Gallardo. Are we hoping to see Kurakana Shadow gets defeated by the heroes? Shushutan's secret. Shushutan's secret. Yes. Let me show you. The Shushutan's secret. It's yeah, but it's a secret. Yeah, it is. Where is it? Here. Let me see if it's still on the website. If I can find it through the website to show you. If not, I can show just yes, okay. It is still there. How do I? Okay, so this is the website from Cure Eclair. This is where the voting is going to happen online. It's going to open July 21. And if you inspect the page, if you right click and view page source, you're going to fall onto this page, which is the code of the page. And then if you scroll down, you're going to find Shushutan in green, ASC2. Hello, I think I know who Kure Claire is. My vote is Hoa Kurea because they're both the same age and birthday. I think they haven't shared Eclair's birthday. No, they haven't shared Kurea's birthday. Only Eclair. I don't know if they shared Eclair's age either. Now, do you think Shushutan is Eclair? No. I believed she was Eclair when everything came out. Like when the information came out, when the first leak came out, I was like, this cure is that fairy because she's not everywhere else. Like there's no civilian form. I believed it, but now I don't believe it anymore. Why? Because in certain profiles from Shushutan, it says that Shushutan is a very good friend of Cure Eclair. If they were the same person, I don't think they would say it. You can say, like, oh, but you can be a good friend of yourself. You can say that. But if they were the same person, they would not, how do I say it? They would not word it that way in the profiles. But I did believe Shushutan was Eclair right at the start when we started getting leaks. I said, we didn't even know the names. I was like, this cure is this fairy. I was sure she was the fairy, but I was wrong. And we're going to discover. Yeah, it's a nice little Easter egg from the devs, definitely. And it's just a little perk that they're adding to the website. And this is a very good background. I love this background. Maybe the background for the next month of streams should be this one. I don't know. Because we already had an Eclair colored one that I used before. I don't know. Still to debate. Okay, so one picture of the town. And then lies. Can I add a Donald Trump image while I talk about the lies? I'm not gonna do that. I should, but I'm not. I'm gonna use a Rudica image. What's the name of that character? From Oshinoko. Akane? Is that her? Yes. I am going to use an image of her because she. No. This happens a lot to especially famous people. But I'm using an image of her because she went through something very hard in Oshinoko. And if you watched it, you know what I'm talking about. And there's something uh, that is touched upon that on this interview. So I think it's an interesting topic to cover. Uh, and then let's go back to Arcana Shadow. Lots of interesting topics that he tackles on this interview, which is true. I want to find a picture of the advice that she gives the girl. It's a good one. Octo Jewel, Duduka. Okay. This one. Hello, Karimar. We all hate Donald Trump here. We all hate Donald Trump. Because there is a moment in this interview that Murayama Isao says that one of the things that he is going to tackle, that he is tackling on Star Detective Precure, is the theme of lies. And he mentions that, especially in social media, like people start using lies as so much, and they start telling so many lies that those lies end up being accepted as the truth. You know, that's why I wanted to use that image. Just, but I'm not gonna use it. It's just an intrusive thought, and I know that this wouldn't work. So, I mean, this would work, but I shouldn't. But I shouldn't do it. So the themes for each episode, the way he does it, it's a nice topic to talk about as well. I'm gonna. And then there's something about the book. This interview is very long, but it's very nice. I did not have time to prepare this earlier. Sorry. So we have the book. Mirai Jiyu. Mashutan. Girl, the way he talks about Mashutan is really cool.
At GeoCub ATL donated $4.99 through Super Chat. Excuse me, we need all rainbow cures here. Please add parfait in summer. Great, thanks. Purple heart, blue heart, Brazil, yellow heart, orange heart, heart.
Purple heart, blue heart, Brazil. Let's go. I love that we all collectively hate Donald Trump here. Girl, I love it. Thank you, Jacob. Let's get the queens. Oh, I'm going to add a beautiful parfait. What the other one is missing is summer. Is it? Yes. Lots of rainbows today. No, I'm going to put this summer because it's been a while since we used this. Thank you, Jacob. Let's get the queens. This background is Parfait's transformation. Look at her. Girl, I love this image. I love Kira Parfait's design so much. I love her design. I think nowadays, I feel like this is one of my favorite designs ever in Precure. Where are the rainbow cures? Cosmo is up there. They're gonna have to be separated. Unless I take Cosmo out of here. So, let's see. Rainbow. Good rainbows. And the last rainbow is her. Ta-da! She big. I love her hair. Her hair really looks like juice to me. I'm gonna flip her around. And she's gonna be here. Let's see if it's gonna work. Let's put her here for now. Like they're descending, like whoop. The rainbows are descending. Cosmo is there and finale is gold. Come to Brazil. Sometimes I get scared by the alerts. I love it. He's so trash. He thinks he's never leaving office. Girl, I hope he. You're forgetting Cosmo and finale. The other. Oh, Cosmo is here. True. Parfait is my favorite at Kira Kira together with Macaron. Manatsu! Jojo Siwa. By Rainbow. I still don't know what I should make for Pride Month. Any suggestions? I think you should do a very, very beautiful artwork of. I was gonna say the two most iconic like couples, which are to me like Sailor Ivan and Sailor Neptune, together with Cure Chocolate and Cure Macaron. Like, I don't know. Maybe them dining together or doing like something like the two couples together, you know? And the last thing from this interview is the Phantom Thieves. So first we have Niji. And then Agisane. Agisane was episode 16, right? When she appeared and it was really nice. Yes. I loved her in this episode. Agesane, and then Goemon. For Goemon, I'm going to use the Diva Goemon that we had last week because I love it. But for Goemon, I will need two. And okay, so now the last image that I'm going to use is something from episode 13. Like, oh, the future of the season. This one is good, I think. Okay, so now let's start. I just need the cover of the magazine. Anime June 2026. Cover. What is this? Oh, love. There's a Love Live cover and there is a what cover? What is? I don't know what anime this is. Let me show you. Does anyone know? I guess ain't mentioned. Does anyone know what anime this is? Himitsu no Aipri. Ai Purin Akuriru Sutando. Oh. Where's Precure? Dorohedoro. Liar Game. Needy Girl Overdose. Girl, there's so many articles. Still, I don't know which show this is. Because there's another cover, which is this one, which is a Love Life one. No, this isn't Animage. I'm gonna leave it to the people in the comments of the video to discover which anime this is because I have no idea. Oh, Star Detective is here. Nippon Sangoku. Nippon Sangoku. A Guerra das Três Nações. Nippon Sangoku. Am I gonna remember that? I don't know. I will. I'm good at remembering names. And it's like Nippon right here. I just didn't know this. But Nippon Sangoku is the cover. I'm just bringing the cover because it is the magazine cover that we're talking. The cover of the magazine we're going to talk about in the video. So let's do this. Sailor High School Romance in Jelly Bean Kingdom Online. Oh my god. A new anime. Love Live. Love Live Days. I don't know what Love Live Days is. Is it a new one? New Love Live? Anyways, let us record because it is time to discover more things about Star Detective. Let's do it. Hello everyone, it's Leo and we're starting another very interesting video here at Magical Cinnamon. This time we are checking out a special super interesting interview with Murayama Isao. This interview was published on Animage June 2026 issue that brings this beautiful cover of Nippon Sengoku, which is another show that is obviously the focus of the magazine, but there are lots of articles and lots of other anime. And we are obviously interested in the Precure article. This was an interview, as I said, with Murayama Isao. He is the composer of Star Detective, basically the writer of Star Detective Precure. And as we say, As we keep on saying in the videos related to him, he is a prolific person in the Precure universe. He is the writer of Mahotsukai Precure and also Star Detective Precure, and he also worked on Mirai Days as his writer as well. And he's even going to mention this on this interview. So let us focus on the topics that he brings, which are really interesting. So, the first thing that the interviewer asked was what went through his mind when he first received the offer to be the composer for this project. And Murayama Isao said that when he looks at old school detective stories, the detectives themselves don't really have much personal drama. They aren't really the main characters. The drama usually lies with the clients and the culprits, which is where the conflicts and motives are portrayed. But in this case, whenever you give them a title of precure, you give them a massive presence already. So they could definitely make them stand out as protagonists, different than other detective stories. Uh, he uses examples as Kindaichi Kosuke and Sherlock Holmes, and says that they really don't have much personal drama, but they make up for it by being highly eccentric or quirky, which makes their story works. And they cannot exactly write Precure like that. He is someone who has worked on Precure before, so he knows how that works. And then there is the topic of the mystery solving side of things inside Star Detective. And he says that a type of story that focuses on who did it would be very difficult for the target audience to follow. But he really wanted to stick to the concept of using logical deduction. So, what they're aiming to do is to create mysteries that even small children can manage to solve. And also, this is something that the interviewer has said, and I thought it was very interesting. Considering the age of the viewers of Star Detective, it is also necessary to find ways to avoid making it a cynical story where you start doubting people around you and to not give the kids a jaded view in life, right? And so, what do they do? What is their way of working around it? They handle this by making the Phantom Thieves Guild being the culprits in every single episode. They are unrealistic entities that pop up in movies and novels. They don't have much human drama as the suspects do. Since they are that kind of phantom thieves, they can treat them almost like symbols. It feels closer to a quiz where they say, one of those people is a phantom thief. Can you guess who it is? And, things like that. And another thing that is mentioned is the time slipping element. In every Precure season that he worked on, he says that he made it a rule to avoid time slipping. The concept of time is very hard for small children to grasp. And that is why in Mirai Days, for example, he was able to bring a story using time as a central theme because the focus the target audience is different. It's an older audience that would be able to understand the concept of time easily. And so for Star Detective, they are intentionally doing something a bit more complex by scattering foreshadowing and mysteries throughout the series. They've set up various narrative tricks like why did Anna come to 1999? Why did Mikuru know about Precure? What's the reason Duduka is in the Phantom Thieves? Who is Cure Eclair? And he hopes that everyone looks forward to finding all these answers. But the thing is, they are creating this story for a broader target audience, but also remembering that kids are watching and the kids need to understand every aspect of it. And they are taking great care to ensure small children can enjoy this story to the fullest. For instance, if someone says, I want to go back to 2027 using this specific year, it might not really click with the children. They might not really understand it. But if they say, I want to go back because there is an important birthday party happening, he thinks that the children will understand this drama. And this aspect of how they deal with time slipping is very important. And I think it's very present in what we see, right? And another thing related to the time slip is the fact that Mikuru and Jet Senpai don't really seem to be that interested in how the future is. They don't really talk to Anna and ask her things like, what's the future like? And they don't ask things like that to Anna. And so Isao says that he thought that this would be very complicated for the kids, so they don't really focus on this aspect of the time traveling drama, and they operate on the assumption that they talked about it off screen, but they intentionally keep the depiction of the era subdued as well. They keep it as a simple level. For example, oh, facial recognition isn't common yet in 1999. They keep it just enough to lightly tickle the nostalgia of the parents watching, but they don't spoil the experience of the very young kids that watch the show. Another thing is the setting. And this is something that Murayama Isao talked to Kawasaki Koji, who is the director of Star Detective, very early on in the stages of Star Detective, in the very early stages of Star Detective Precure. And he says that he proposed for the series to happen in a newly developed residential area. In 1999, the town Anna lived in the future hasn't been developed yet. It was just an empty field. We even see it in one of the episodes. And the detective agency was in a town that was a short train ride away. The setup made all the narrative tricks he planned work perfectly, and it helped keep things consistent in a logical way, more so than the current setting of Makoto Mirai City. However, Kawasaki Koji suggested that a coastal town might look better on screen, so they kept the narrative tricks alive while shifting the setting to the current city that we see nowadays. And they also mentioned that it gives kind of a bit of a London vibe to this city. And this also helps to fit the detective concept perfectly. And to that, Murayama Isao added another theme related to detectives. Another major thing that was the core theme he wanted to tackle was lies. Nowadays, you see people who insist they are telling the truth even when they are obviously lying, or people who swallow easily obtained information as the absolute truth without a shred of doubt. Or when someone tells the absolute truth, they are branded a liar. He tried to do something with lies during Mirai Days as well, like being suspected as a witch. Remember, there was this little storyline in Mirai Days, but it didn't fully materialize, and he was only including it vaguely. This time, since it is a detective story, he really felt that they could tackle this theme head on in the show. And I brought this image of Ruruka to depict the lies because he is going to talk about that in the interview as well. Personally, I think that we're living in a very scary era of information, of AI generated information as well. So many things feel very dangerous, and how people are receiving the information is very dangerous as well. So I'm very happy that we have this depiction here in Precure, and I like the way it is being brought to the show as of now, at least. And as I've said, I think that especially when it comes to politics, we see so many weird forces rising and being spread as truth because of financial power. Because if you have financial power, you can just spread your message to so many people. And so many people are not even going to question what they're hearing. They're just going to accept it as truth. And so people are being able to control certain narratives in such a bizarre way that it's very scary. And continuing on the interview, before I go on a tangent here, another thing that is very related to the lies and how information is being spread in nowadays, everything happens online, right? The power of the internet has basically dominated the information in the world. And this is connected to another thing that the interviewer mentions, which is speaking of witches, since he mentioned the witches and the suspect of being a witch in Mirai Days, he says, speaking of witches, that definitely brings to mind medieval witch hunts. And Murayama Isao brings in something very specific. He says, this totally connects to modern day internet lynchings. Looking at social media recently, I really feel that the line between lies and truth has become incredibly blurry. I just brought Akane from Oshinoko here to, visualize this. And if you've watched Oshinoko, you probably saw this storyline happening in front of your eyes, the internet lynching and how it affected this person, how it affected this idol specifically, and it almost made a tragedy happen. Internet lynchings are something that happen not always, but lots of times based on lies or distortions of truth. And that is also another thing that is very, very scary. And how people spread things around can really hurt a person's life and destroy a person's life, or destroy their mental sanity, or destroy their physical well being. And I also really, really like that he brings it on this interview, and they are aware of those kind of things. And the interviewer finishes this topic by mentioning fake information being accepted as truth and taking on a life of its own is quite dangerous, isn't it? And because basically the fake news nowadays, they grow so much that it feels kind of like something that is alive. And Morema Isao says that he feels that a lot these days. The idea of don't be misled by lies, look and think for yourself, is so obvious that it probably wouldn't have worked as a theme a little while ago. Right now, I felt it was a message we absolutely needed to convey to children through Precure. I really like that he mentions the fact that it wouldn't have worked in a few years from now, because the way that we handle information has changed so much and so fast. It is hard to keep up. And it's nice to see that the director of Star Detective is really keeping up with the times and important conversations. And then the interviewer remembers what happened in episode 11 by saying that when the Makoto jewel resided in a fake item, Cura Arcana Shadow mockingly said, lies aren't entirely a bad thing. And Cura Answer completely rejected that. It felt like a perfect symbol of the conflict between truth and lies. And Murayama Isao says that he is very conscious of that when he's writing. That was a line only Arcana Shadow could deliver. And this axis of conflict is something that will definitely continue to appear moving forward. This idea that a character values lies in a way is very philosophical, and also something that we can think of, and we can extrapolate, not now, but we can extrapolate and think of how we use lies in our lives. It is impossible to live your life without, not saying a white lie or anything like that, in your day to day life, but it is something that happens, and it's something that is nice to talk about. And it's good that the show is not only saying lies are bad and that's it. Like, there is a whole conversation that we need to have about that. And another thing that related to this conflict of truth and lies, there is the Makoto jewels. And the interviewer asked, did you introduce the Makoto jewel into the story to specifically symbolize that conflict? And Murayama Isao says that he did. And as a result, he wrote it to conclude with the message related to episode 11. It was exposed as a fake to the public, and the real one ended up being displayed. We structured that specific episode more in the format of a Phantom Thief genre rather than a standard detective story. And then the interviewer mentions that this was a very Arsène Lupin-esque episode where the Phantom Thief uncovers the mystery behind the incident and not the actual detectives. And Mariyama Isao says, the underlying question of, is what Ruruka did entirely wrong? This is a theme that they're going to explore in the episodes that she attacks as a phantom thief. And this happened in episode 12 as well. She tried to think of a way to get the Makoto jewel without hurting the feelings of the owner of the friendship bracelet. It gives the impression that she isn't just blindly after the Makoto jewel. And Murayama Isao says that this is one of the things that he is very careful when he is writing Ruruka as a character. He wants to show that she isn't just a bad girl who commits theft. To put it bluntly, he wants the kids to like Ruruka and Arcana Shadow. And he's very glad that he placed her on the enemy side as someone who challenges Anna and Mikuru with the question, what is right, lies or the truth? It also perfectly highlights Anna's character since she is totally incapable of lying. Another thing that the interviewer mentions is the fact that she pokes answered Cure Mystique's cheeks during battles, and it's something that is incredibly cute. And Murayama Isao says that this is a gesture more than an attack, especially in episode 11, since it was her big debut. He wanted to show that Arcana Shadow wasn't just a powerful character, but she's also playful. They paid incredibly close attention to her movement and dialogue to make sure that kids wouldn't end up hating Arcana Shadow. And she's also a lot of fun, and she's a very mischievous type of character. And she turned out to be a very charming one. A hardcore, cool character is awesome, but if an enemy character is entirely cool and very detached, children might just find them scary. And so they kept that in mind while crafting her personality, while crafting her unique traits. There have been cool precures in the past, but that was within the context of them being allies. They were already established to be part of the main team. And in here, she is not. She is from the enemy side. And so she has to be likable by the kids. And talking about the difficulty levels of the deductions, here's what he had to say. He says that figuring out the balance is something that he does as the series goes on. He comes up with the tricks for every single episode himself, and then he sends out the requests to the writers for each episode. If he didn't, he says that it would be a bigger burden on the individual writers. And so they cannot use things like scientific knowledge, they can't use math, they can't use letters, they can't use time tricks. That those things are very hard for small children to grasp. And they actively try to avoid making the puzzles too simple, like spot the difference games or simple maze. So this is a big, big challenge for them to do. And so this is something that he suffers a lot by writing. And he likes to think of it as, if a parent and a child are watching together, the parents might figure it out, and the kids might realizing during the commercial break. This is usually why we have the cures resolving the case and then the episode goes to a break. We usually watch the episodes in streaming platforms nowadays, so for us it is a little different. But thinking about the kids, the cures, they get everything related to the case before the break. And so before the break, they find the culprit and they do their little hand movement and the beautiful scene with the feathers. And then the break comes. So there is a little time for the kid to process everything that happened and might figure out who the true culprit is. So that's usually why they have the resolving happen right after the break. And so he believes, they ask him which episode hit the best, and he believes that he really liked the trick with the bride's tiara in episode 1, and he thinks that it really set the baseline standard for the series. If it is a simple physical issue of whether a tiara fits into a box, it's extremely easy for the kids to understand the mystery visually. And they also mentioned the mystery with the toy robot in episode 13, and 13 was a very important episode, so the mystery happened right at the beginning in a very fast way. And Isao says that in episodes like 13, where there's a massive amount of information tied to the plot of the story, the viewers' brains would completely short circuit if the puzzle was also difficult. So they made the mystery easier in episodes like those. They balance things out by simplifying the tricks or lowering the difficulty in the episodes that they really need to focus heavily on character development. And when it comes to the creation of the plot for every single episode, he always starts out by figuring the core theme of that specific episode. He figures out the trick for the case, what the Makoto jewel will reside in, and whether they will feature any Phantom Thief trivia. On a broader scale, there's the overarching plot for the entire show, and they might say, well, one of the series' main mysteries will be solved in this episode, and the specific trick for that week will have to fit into this overarching theme. Whether it's individual episodes or the main overarching story, he just locks myself in his narrow dark room and agonize over it, begging his brain to come up with something. And days have been continuing for over a year. So he's been working on the mysteries of every single episode, of the plot of every single episode for a long time now. And I just put this picture of Kira Mystique here in a very scared way, because that's probably how he feels every single day of his life by working on this show. And we can say it's really been paying off, because everything has been great when it comes to those mysteries. And one example of the mystery of the episode being focused to the main story is on episode 14. In that episode, they found the picture. Remember, I think it was 15, that they went on and they ended up finding that little picture, and Ruruka found them in that tower, the bridge, not tower. The mystery related to this episode was a camera. Remember? And the camera was stolen by Agazane. And the mystery of the series that was brought to this episode was a picture. So see how they tie in the mystery of the episode together with the mystery of the show. Obviously, bringing both of them thematically close to each other. That's a very cool thing that they've been doing, and we can really see how this hard work is paying off. And he also mentions that whenever they send the request to the writers, they just don't give them the core trick. He writes the story flow, the scene breakdowns, specific dialogue in much more detail than he would do in the other seasons that he worked on, because it is more tightly constructed than other Precure seasons. And this is something that we can totally clearly see. If you are someone who watches Precure, who's been watching Precure for a while, you'll probably understand this as well. This series, the construction of this series is different because of the work that those people are doing backstage. And once a script reaches the final draft, he has to make the request sheet for the next episode for the writers. Sometimes he has to put out 4 or 5 stories in a single week. And the writers are so talented, and they crank out final drafts incredibly fast. And so with the script meetings, he sometimes prays that the individual writers wouldn't have finished the scripts, because if they finish the scripts, they have to give him the final script, probably for him to give the okay. And he's like, please don't give me any more scripts today because this man is suffering. Ooh, girl, this man is suffering. And then when it comes to this episode, we also have the idea of the Nostradamus Great Prophecy. And this was one of the producers who chose for this to appear in the show. And Murayama says that this was one of the producers' idea to bring it to the show, but they didn't really decide on how to utilize it. But since the story is heavily set in 1999, they can't avoid the King of Terror coming in the 7th month. That was a big prophecy in 1999. So they decided on a plot line where the enemy tries to become the Great King, according to the Book of Prophecy. And there is something that is very peculiar about Star Detective and about the story, which is the fact that both Anna and Mikuru are not mentioned in the book at all. And Mariyama Isao says that they're heavily using the Nostradamus motif, so they introduced a book of prophecy. So Usonoir possesses this book and he places absolute trust in this book. And then they set up a conflict structure where Anna, who isn't in the book at all, takes a brave step forward and says, I will decide my own future without following a prophecy. And this is an interesting aspect of this story. And there's also another thing related more to the kanji side of it. Uh, the fact that the book is called Mirai Jiyu, which can be translated as free future. So it's the book of free future. But the translation is basically the book of mirages. So you write Mirai Jiyu, but read it as Mirage. And so Muraya Maisel says that the little middle school boy came up with that name. And when Usonoir mentions it, he uses the traditional kanji for future, not Usonoir. He's still talking about himself. The middle school boy inside him says that he uses the traditional kanji for future, and that would be very cool. And the future is something akin to an illusion, right? And so there is also the fairy of the fortune telling, which is Mashutan. So they tied it directly to her by establishing that the book was written by her ancestor. And this is another thing about Mashutan. And they asked if Mashutan was an expert at fortune telling established from the very beginning of the show. And Isao says that she wasn't from the very start. When they started creating the fairies, he proposed that Jet Senpai would be the fairy of invention and Pochitan would be the fairy of space-time. But then later on, Mashutan came to be the fortune-telling fairy. And he also mentions that Mashutan's fortune-telling accuracy is incredibly high. Very important, right? And when it comes to the storyline, this is how they are trying to create the whole thing. To keep the viewers from getting bored, they section the story into 6 episode blocks. There's generally a larger narrative milestone every quarter of episodes, which we call core. So we have the story of Star Detective being divided into 4 cores. We're now in the second one, and the third one will start when Cure Eclair appears. And they brought Usonoir to wrap up the first core with a bang and make the mysteries deeper. And then the act of stealing gives off a very raw, insidious vibe. That uncomfortable expression gets stronger when you can't see the person pulling the strings. So they made Usonoir appear early on because the children will know that that person is the one that is pulling the strings behind the scenes, and they know it, and that makes it less scary. And the name Usonoir is a combination of uso, which is lie, and noir, that is darkness. But it can also be playfully read as Usonowaru. Usonowaru is the liar bad guy. The little boy inside me totally named him as well. So this is also very nice. Now talking a little bit about the Phantom Thieves, starting with Niji. Murayama Isao says that he really wanted a handsome character in the mix. That is why Niji was created, and his name comes straight from Niju Menso, the fiend with 20 faces. And Niji usually disguises himself as a woman because going from a man to a woman gives off a much stronger in disguise vibe. And this makes it easier for kids to understand that he is in disguise. It's not that he's specifically a cross-dressing character or anything. And he can also disguise himself as a man if he wants to. Now talking about Agesane, Agesane is purely because the 90s were the absolute golden age of Gyaru culture. And there is another fact about her. When they looked into it, there weren't any catchy 90s buzzwords that Agesane could use naturally. So they ended up going for choberiba, which means like cho, very bad, super very bad. But this is an even older slang. This wasn't even from the 90s. It's even older than that. And her name comes from our son Lupin. And last but not least, we have Goemon. Goemon is a character that comes from Goemon, the Ishikawa Goemon, legendary character from Japan, legendary figure from Japan. And he didn't want another disguised character because we already have Niji and Agesane, but rather a pleasant, loyal type of character with lots of physical strength and good disposition. He takes care of his people, and he is totally willing to bow his head to his junior. He's a pretty great phantom thief. And he doesn't disguise himself. He actually creates illusionary puzzle spaces. So if they strictly stick to the who's the culprit pattern every single time, they might eventually hit a creative wall. And so one of the producers threw him a lifeline suggesting it's tough to come up with pure deduction segments every week. So wouldn't it be easier if we included some quizzes or escape game type puzzles? He thought, wow, this producer is an actual angel. And so this was something that made him very happy and made him believe that he would be able to make the work easier, but it was a short-lived dream that quickly became a nightmare because they had to create multiple short puzzles to properly fill the runtime, and making short puzzles was surprisingly difficult, and it ended up being way more work for him. Oh my god. But it's very nice that they separated the roles of the Phantom Thieves a little bit better. And this interview makes me believe that we're sticking to those three Phantom Thieves until the end of the show. I was believing that we might see some new Phantom Thieves down the line because of the new designs that the character designer said. But I now believe that it is actually going to be him not him. Niji, Agesane, and Goemon until the end. I just don't know about Usonoir, but I do think those three are sticking, and Arcana Shadow as well, as the fourth member until that. But, I really believe this is going to be what we have. And to end the interview, he says, as the 7th month approaches, the story will start to move in a massive way. So please look forward to it. The major mysteries we've been dropping hints about all along will finally be revealed. Then, the curtain will officially rise on the third core, which brings the next big development. Please be incredibly excited for it. One thing that I feel is very important is the fact that the mysteries are going to be answered. Soon, we're going to have answers to the mysteries that have been built. And then new mysteries will start. This makes me incredibly excited for more Star Detective, and it makes me believe that we are getting something gorgeous, especially with Eclair incoming. This was a great interview. I loved getting to understand more things about the structure of Star Detective and everything else related to it. And that's it. I'm sorry this video ended up being very, very long, but still very, very nice, right? Love getting to understand the background stuff better and how they come with certain things. Anyways, babies, this is it for this video. I want to take this little time to thank the Magical Cinnamon production team, especially Inu, for helping me with this content by bringing this amazing interview. Thank you very, very much. Anyways, babies, this is it for now. We'll take this little time to thank the members of the Magical Cinnamon channel. If you're a member here on YouTube, on Patreon, on Throne, thank you very, very much. And if you've watched up to now, thank you so much as well. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time. Bye bye. Girl, this was way longer than I expected. I am so sorry. Okay. Oh, can you hear the fireworks? Hello, Levy. 71 months. That's insane. That's insane. Girl, I am so sorry, but I am not going to have time for the arts today. I can stream tomorrow. No, I can't. But I can stream during this week, but if I can't, I will share the arts in the next stream. Every art from this week and from next week in the next stream. I say this because I need to wrap it up because we need to start preparing the things that we're going to eat. You can hear the fireworks already. As I said, people in Brazil are crazy over the World Cup. So I'm going to have to end the live stream a little bit earlier. Let's see who won the poll for today. Let's see. I mean, kind of obvious. Oh my god, let's go. Who is Eclair? 63% of the voters voted for Kurea. Shiruku has 22% of the votes. Eliza 12% and Rei 3%. Poor day. Hello, Sophia. You're not late, baby. Let's add strawberry shortcake. Let's go. Which one? Can I add the 90s one? Because she's my favorite out of the shortcakes. Can it be her? What type of file is this? I don't even know if it's going to work here. Let's see. Because there are lots of shortcakes, right? No. Okay, I found one. She is the cutest. I'm sorry. This is the cutest strawberry shortcake. I love this design so much. I didn't vote because my choice was not there. Stop that. Hello, Stormcloud. I can send my art next week as this art is complete, but the one I'm currently working on will take a while. We'll show everyone, okay? So no showing art today. I'm so sorry, but we are going to... I'm going to do it next week, okay? Hugto is a little awkward for me because my name is George. Oh my god, you're called George. That's why Geocub. Oh. I love this. Oh my god. That is why you're called Geocub. Girl, I'm shook. I can add her here. So guys, I'm so sorry, but no arts for today because I need to finish. But I will show every art next week, okay? Or if I can stream tomorrow a little. I might not be able to. It will depend if I'm gonna be home. But if I'm home, I can stream tomorrow after tea because tea also streams on Sunday. So let's watch Tea's stream. Sophia. Cabaton was here with me last week, baby. But now I am going to go root for Brazil. Brazil. La 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 la. Brazil. I love this song. Do you know this song? Let's play this song for us to finish the stream. You remember Venga Boys? The Venga Boys is coming. Do, 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 do. Brazil Venga Boys song. Venga Boys to Brazil. That's the name of the song. Where is the part that they sing? Here. I love the way she screams. Brazil! And then we start. Brazil. La 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 la. La 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 la. Brazil. And Brazil, they do this probably because one of the Venga Boys members...
At GeoCub ATL donated $1.99 through Super Chat.
Here's the Brazil flag.
Brazil, 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 Brazil.
Thank you, GeoCub. Oh my god. Thank you. That's crazy. Brazil is playing today, and I love my country. I hate football, but I love my country. And I'm going to root for my country because we need some happiness sometimes, right? And I'm going to keep on singing and dancing. Brazil. La 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 la. Thank you, babies. And I'll see you next stream. Might be next week, might be tomorrow. I don't know. Whenever I can. But next week for sure. Another stream? Maybe. We'll see. Thank you, babies. Brazil. La 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 la. La 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 la. Brazil. How do I close this? I never know how it works because it's so different whenever you plan a live stream here on YouTube. No, okay, it's working. Ciao, babies. See you next time. Thank you. Let's keep singing. Brazil. La 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 la. Brazil. Brazil. La 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 la. Sorry.